People call me Ichard, and I work here in the education department. Dr. Lyon came about right around the turn of the century. He moved to Hawaii from Minnesota in 1907. Prior to it being a botanical garden, this area was heavily used by Native Hawaiian people. It still is. It has a name. This area of the mountains, this ili or subdivision of land, is called Haukulu. And then there's a notch in the ridge back there. That's the head of Aihualama waterfall and stream, which cuts and bisects our land. We have about 200 acres. So Dr. Lyon was brought on board to find trees to replace the original forest, to control the erosion and to capture the rainfall, so it'll go into the ground, which is where we get our water from the aquifer. He really had a vision that we had to preserve these spaces and places for people to learn about plants, and so he was instrumental in establishing that. In 1950, 1953, they had decided, the HSPA wanted to sell off this land and develop it into like a gated community, like private development here. And he said, no, this needs to be for the public in perpetuity. So this historically was very important. It's also sacred because of the water sources back here. And then when you get to the mountains, this area would be considered Wauakua, going up where the people shouldn't go and where the gods dwell. And this is Waukanaka, where the people utilize the areas. And so it's kind of where those two places meet, and it still is to this day. It's a very sacred place for people to come to. We host 7,000 students a year on almost daily field trips up here, which are aligned with STEM, science standards, and Common Core standards. But we also want them to experience the land and the culture. Hawaii being the endangered species capital of the United States, so-called, we have about 98% endemism in our plant species, meaning they're found nowhere else in the world. They got here, their ancestors got here, evolved into something unique. Hawaiian Rare Plant Program, as it's called, houses the seed laboratory as well as the microprop lab. They have rescued a lot of plants and saved them from the brink of extinction, and they're kept alive in our labs. But they haven't been brought back from being endangered. But it's around 14,000, I believe, plants in test tubes. The habitat's being destroyed. The plants will definitely disappear unless we somehow save that genetic information. So if you lose a pollinator, say it's a moth or a butterfly, you lose your plant. The hope is that the habitat will be restored and then the plants can be reintroduced there. And that is kind of as the last resort to make sure that it's safe. We can't wait until it's federally listed and we get funding to save it. It'll be too late by then. We all need nature. We're part of nature. I think we forget that, and we feel separate from nature. But we are nature, and once you can connect with that, there's some peace, I think, that you can keep with you for life. I encourage everybody who has a chance to come here to visit, Aihualama, Haukulu, Lyon Arboretum. Just experience it. Go for a hike, learn something about a plant or a bird, and definitely encourage you guys, if you want to volunteer. We take on almost all comers. We love volunteer help. We need the help. We love having students come up, share their energy. And we also offer our adult classes on the weekends for any community members that want to attend. So And we were looking forward to a lot of changes. Our road is getting repaired very soon. A lot of big changes going on, so it's an exciting time to be here. So yeah, we encourage everyone to come by.